Okay, I got a really nice C10 that I bought this past summer. It's a 70 model short bed, so just a really nice old school truck. And had a little work done on it when I bought it just to make sure it was healthy enough to drive around and enjoy it with the family. So the transmission fluid leaked all on the ground, and I didn't understand what was going on because it hadn't done that ever. And but I've had it about 6 months now. And what happened was I put some oil dry on it and just kind of said, forget about it, I'll get to it later. But it drained out enough transmission fluid for it to run down the concrete. And what the culprit was this yoke. So you guys that's got a leaky rear end of the transmission, it's not always the seal. This is an old truck somebody has put some parts on over the years or whatever. Do you see that hole in the middle of that? That's what that is. So this is from a later model truck that supposedly has some kind of O-ring seal on these transmissions in later models. This is a turbo 350 in this one, but what I've been told is just a later model transmission that has O-rings inside. So when you put them in, or in the inside, whatever, it has an O-ring so the oil don't come out. And that must have been just a machining point where they held it, turned it down, polished it, whatever. But what I did, that hole is little. Now this hole is bigger, but I put a wire brush in that I want to drill and just cleaned it up to make sure that I could weld it up or do something. And I thought about a few things, and I couldn't get that hole clean because it was so small, and my wire brush wouldn't really go in it, and I didn't have a pipe cleaner to go in it. So I thought of a few ideas that would be simple, and what I come up with was JB Weld. I don't know if it's gonna work, but you better clean it good. So without getting the hole clean, it was a lot smaller than that. But I got a 13/64 drill bit, held it in my hand, really slow and easy, just drilled it out, and it drilled through just fine. And it's perfectly clean. It's not got no rust in that hole or nothing because I drilled it. It's got fresh metal there, and I cleaned everything else out. You could have got really fancy. If you have a mill, you could have got the size of a penny, put it right there, and milled out that spot deep enough to put that penny in. It'd have been flush and really nice, and you could have put JB Weld over top of it and you'd have never even knew it was there. But I don't have a mill, so I'm not gonna be able to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I've drilled out that hole, and that way it's clean. But basically I've expanded a hole so I could work with it. That's all I did. And I'm gonna take this penny that's cheaper than a washer at the parts store. I'm gonna place over that. I got a glass table, so I'm gonna try to do this right here. So I'm gonna put this over here, heads or tails, your choice. And then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna mix it up in my paper plate here, and I needed a popsicle stick, and I didn't have none. But luckily, I got these creamsicles, so I'm fixing to enjoy one. And then I'm gonna use this stick to mix up my JB Weld.